Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Football-Oranje, your home of Dutch football. We are reacting live to a draw that's just happened with the Europa League and Conference League draws involving Dutch clubs. Also, the Champions League draw that happened yesterday. So we are going to talk about all 6 Dutch clubs that are active in Europe with their draws. We're going to talk about the Dutch coefficient and how well that's doing. And, of course, the selection made by Ronald Koeman today for the Netherlands games coming up in a week's time. Abdul's here. I'm Michael. I'm here too. And let's get stuck in. We're doing this live, but we know people won't be watching this back. So wherever you're listening or watching, just drop us a comment about what you think about the draws of Dutch teams, the squad from Koeman. Without further ado, let's get into it. I'm wearing an Ajax shirt at the moment, so I think we'll start with Feyenoord because then we please both sides of the coin there. Feyenoord were active in the Europa League draw that has just occurred, and here are the fixtures that they've got. So, Abdul, what are you thinking about these? Just trying to get them up. Here's a picture of Sam Stein, by the way, who has just been selected for the Netherlands for the first time. More on, well, the Netherlands a bit later. But if you want to talk about Stein as well, Abdul, maybe now's a good time too. What did you think about the draw?
Well, it's fair enough for Feyenoord. It's a possible draw. They do have some tough opponents, of course, playing Aston Villa, but that's going to be home in Rotterdam. Real Betis, Celtic, Braga from Portugal, Stormgrass, FCSB from Romania, Panathinaikos from Greece, and Stuttgart from Germany. They will play, of course, 4 matches away against Aston Villa, Celtic, Stormgrass, and Panathinaikos. I think it's an acceptable group. Feyenoord is capable of qualifying to the next round. Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, the home ties against Villa, Celtic, they're going to be great atmospheres for sure. Tricky trips, though. Obviously, getting Stuttgart from pot 4 is a difficult one, but also having Braga, Betis as well. Feyenoord, I think, might struggle a little bit in European competition anyway, even with the fixtures. I just think this is a team that's in flux. There's some really good players in there. They might get some wins, especially at home. That's how they've got to qualify, isn't it, for the next round? With the Europa League being, of course, the same as the Conference League and the Champions League, with top 8 go straight through to the next round. Then you've got the playoffs between 9th and 24th, and then below that, you don't go any further. Where do you see Feyenoord finishing within that, just like a first estimation?
From the last season, we saw that with 10 points or 11 points, you could have a good chance to qualify. I believe Feyenoord is capable of making more than that. The team can actually make 12 points or 13 points. They could win in every match, by the way. They could win all matches and they could struggle in some. So it's going to depend on the atmosphere, on the team itself. If they have a good day, they can qualify, and they can qualify with good number of points.
I think they'll get between 7 and 10 points from those home games. And then away from home, if they can get, at least one win, another draw maybe, that's getting them into double figures comfortably. And then maybe they're just in the playoffs this time and they're not a top 8 side. I think Feyenoord that are well-drilled, well-oiled, maybe they would be getting, towards the top 8. We'll see. I think it's some nice fixtures anyway.
They defeated Benfica last season in Portugal. So my hopes are high they can do the same with the Braga and defeat them away as well.
Yeah. I mean, this side, if it goes to the playoffs, maybe they can do something. But
yes.
Yeah, that's why I kind of see him going anyway. I don't think they'll be in the top 8. Sam Stein, anyway, is the man pictured here. Captain's armband, moved from Twente in the summer, being the Eredivisie top goal scorer. He's already had a good start with Feyenoord in the new team. Captain's armband already, trusted by Van Persie. And surprise, surprise, we said it on this podcast many times. As soon as he gets one game for Feyenoord, he'll be in the Netherlands squad. Oh, look what's happened.
Yes.
He has been pretty good, though, hasn't he, Stein? I've got to say,
yes.
I think he's moved up a level again. So I can see why Koeman's chosen him, but it's just typical, isn't it?
He has been scoring for Feyenoord since he joined the team. He even scored in the first 3 minutes, the first match for Feyenoord in the season. We were hoping to find a playmaker, a player who plays behind the attackers. We usually start with Kluivert or Simmons, but this time maybe we can start with Stein and see how it will go.
Yeah, do you think he could get a start straight away? I doubt Koeman does like elaborate things like that. Uh,
I doubt that too. I think he will be maybe playing in the second half, especially in the second match. He will have a bigger chance to play since it's going to be an easier match than the one against Poland. The one against Poland is going to be very important for us to win.
Yeah, a couple of good games. Obviously, on Football-Oranje, we'll be previewing those and reacting to those live after the games.
Yes.
So, yeah, I can't wait to talk about the Netherlands a bit more. Maybe later in this podcast, but definitely do the previews to those shows. Today's an Eredivisie show anyway. If you guys are enjoying our Eredivisie shows, you may know that we've been putting out one after every weekend of games so far this season on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other podcast platforms. YouTube has got this Eredivisie show exclusively today, since we're recording this one live after all of those lovely European draws. Some really exciting fixtures in there. I don't think any teams have got like a really easy run of games. Obviously, we're going to talk about each of them anyway. Actually, do you know what? On reflection, maybe Ajax, who we'll talk about a bit later. But Ajax, of course, have got their issues, haven't they? And maybe they won't have enough to get through those fixtures, despite how easy they could be. Just had a live comment come in, and there's some people watching live. We don't normally do live shows unless it's after Netherlands game, but we thought we'd do this one live today since it was after the draw. Had a comment here saying all Dutch teams in Euro Cups. Portugal lost a team last night. Worried this year won't be successful in the Champions League. So, of course, all 6 Dutch teams qualified for the league phase of a competition for the first time in 17 years. I put a post out on X last night saying that, you know, the Netherlands is now ranked the 6th best league in Europe for a 3rd season in a row. They have a massive opportunity to make it 4 in a row this season, keeping those extra Champions League places. It's really exciting times to get into the Eredivisie, and I don't think I need to tell people watching this show anyway about why it's so exciting to get into the league. It's definitely a strengthening league. I don't think it's as embarrassing as people made it out to be at one time. Only 7 years ago, it was the 14th ranked best league by UEFA, and how times have changed. But I can see why this guy here thinks that maybe we won't be successful in the Champions League. PSV got some tricky fixtures. Where should we go next, Abdul? Should we keep on the Europa League topic, or should we go to PSV and Ajax?
Let's continue about the Europa League draw, since we started with the Europa League.
Absolutely,
we can talk about Utrecht now, if you like.
Absolutely, let's bring that one up. So, exciting times for Utrecht and Go Ahead Eagles fans, and nice as well that we're not prioritising like those top sides. I think to talk about next. Nice we get to talk about the other ones. So, being an Eredivisie show, let's talk about Utrecht next. I've got to faff around with the image here, Abdul, so you might just need to give me a moment. A tie stuck out to me. A lot of meetings between British and Dutch clubs. We like to do, obviously, English language podcast previous to some of these games, and I think we'll be picking a few of these ones. Utrecht have got a tie against Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, they will face Nottingham Forest, Porto, Real Betis, Lyon, Celtic, Freiburg, Genk, and Brann from Norway. It's not an easy group for them. I think that the draw is kind of tough, but Utrecht plays attacking football, and they have been impressive so far. I think the team is capable of making some points and being in the top 24. They do have a chance against many teams in this group, even the teams with big names like Porto, for example. I know that Porto has been struggling the past few years, so Utrecht might have a chance. Actually, the only match where I cannot see Utrecht winning is the one against Nottingham Forest, and maybe the one against Lyon. But again, everything is possible.
Yes, nice games in there. So they got a trip to Norway. It's one of those games that, you know, if Utrecht are as strong as they have been so far this season, they can hopefully go and win that game. Trip to Celtic. I mean, the Scottish champions aren't as strong at the moment. That also could be an opportunity, as big as the atmosphere is going to be in Glasgow. Then home ties, you know, can they beat Genk? Can they get a scalp against a Lyon, Porto, or Nottingham Forest? Some nice games, though. And I think if Utrecht can get into the top 24, reach a playoff place, who knows? Maybe they can get a nice game in the playoffs and they're through again to the last 16. But just them being in this competition is fantastic, getting this far and just getting some points really will please Utrecht fans. I think they're going to do really well, personally. I think they've got a good chance of... I mean, Twente did it last season. They scraped enough points to reach the playoffs. I think Utrecht will do the same.
I'm only concerned about Victor Jensen yesterday.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
it's a bad injury,
yeah,
wasn't it?
yes, his injury seemed very, very serious. I hope, I wish the best for him, of course, but I doubt he's going to play anytime soon. And I think Utrecht will painfully miss him unless they sign another player in the next coming few days. This is going to help a lot because Jensen is a very important player for Utrecht. He scores many goals also, although he is a midfielder.
I think Utrecht's got quite a deep squad though nowadays. I wouldn't say there's one player that is there can't do without him kind of player. A strong spine in this team. Got really experienced centre backs. They've got full backs that are attacking, explosive, and get goals and assists. You've got in goal Vasilius Barkas, a really safe pair of hands. In midfield, the man pictured here on screen, Zahil, a Dutch player that's rising up with hopefully having a good season with Utrecht
Yes.
before he goes back to Feyenoord. And then up top, you've got Ale that's just signed, and he's not even starting games yet because Min's getting some goals. I just want to say about the injury to Jensen. They've already lost Johan Catalin, their left winger, to a couple of months of injury. And Adrian Blake, who we interviewed on Football-Oranje on our YouTube channel, he's stepped in on the left wing and he's done really well as well. So I think they've got a really good squad to attack European competition as well as the Eredivisie this season.
Yeah. And since the first comment you put was about Portugal losing a team, not only Portugal, of course, we know that Belgium lost two teams. They only have three teams now, and Turkey have also three teams. They lost two teams. So and these are the three countries that are chasing the Dutch league in the coefficient. So hopefully this is going to be a good start for us since we have all six teams participating for the first time since 2009.
Let's talk about the Dutch coefficient. I'll just talk a little bit in more detail because some people might not be aware too much about the details of the coefficient. Some people might know lots about it, like me and you, Abdul, and maybe geek out about it too much. But the Netherlands being the sixth best league in Europe is determined by the coefficient, which you may have seen online. If you look at the coefficient rankings, there's some good Twitter pages actually devoted to the coefficient rankings. Really good news this season. The Netherlands actually have quite a tough proposition to stay as the sixth best ranked league. But with Belgium only down to three teams last night, losing Anderlecht as well as Sporting Charleroi, they don't have a good chance anymore of overtaking the Netherlands, really, in the coefficient rankings. Portugal lost a team last night, losing Santa Clara, and Turkey as well, who are like a distant competitor. They also lost a couple of teams in the qualifiers. Yes. So this is a massive opportunity for the Netherlands, not only to cement its place as the sixth best league, but future-proof it for future seasons, and potentially, like long shot, can they even target France in the long term and become the fifth best league in Europe, which gives them another Champions League spot? Like, it'd be amazing for the Eredivisie to keep growing in this way. I put a post out online, and people were interacting with it quite well with the fact that this only isn't just because of some good results in Europe. Think actually why that is. Dutch teams are adapting more to playing in Europe now. They're defensively a lot better than they were. Think of all the Dutch centre-backs that are coming through nowadays. So there's something's definitely shifted there.
Oh, yes.
You've got teams that are spending more, even mid-table teams, spending money, spending millions of euros that before they weren't doing. Before it was loans and free transfers. And just in general, teams wanting to do well in Europe. I think that's certainly the factor in it too. Yeah, really exciting times for the coefficient and the Dutch league in general.
Yeah, and speaking of France, since you mentioned France, we were actually doing well and chasing them. But what happened in season 23-24 was bad. They collected 16 points and we collected only 10. So we fell a little behind, but we can always start chasing them again to be the fifth and to add one more team to the European competitions to become 7 teams, actually.
But of course, it's always kind of tainted, isn't it, if you get an extra spot? Because then if you lose a team in qualifiers, you run the risk of, devaluing your coefficient. But to be honest, having 6 teams so far has been quite a nice sweet spot for the Netherlands. That extra Champions League spot is making teams at the top of the table spend more money to try and achieve that.
Yeah.
So hopefully it means more entertainment this season, not only in the league, but in Europe. But yeah, that's really exciting times. And without further ado, I think it's great to bring up Go Ahead Eagles' fixtures for the league phase of the Europa League, qualifying to the competition for the first time. But not going to lie, Abdul, it's probably the toughest draw of any of the Dutch teams, other than maybe PSV in the Champions League. Not talking about the strength of teams necessarily here, but with the relative difficulty, I think Go Ahead here have a really tough run of fixtures.
Yeah, they could actually lose all the 8 matches. Seriously, they could lose all the 8 matches. They are playing against Aston Villa, Salzburg, Braga, Lyon, FCSB from Romania, Nice, Stuttgart, and Panathinaikos. But the team also could collect some points. I think participating itself is an achievement for Go Ahead Eagles. The fans are just happy with that. So maybe when they play home, they could cause some trouble to some opponents. I was happy that they would face Aston Villa in Holland, actually, not in England. So they could make some points. They could collect some points, but I highly doubt they will be in the top 24, though.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Can they make the top 24? I don't think they'll get enough points. You're looking at needing about 10 points to do that. So 3 wins, yes. And where are those wins coming from? Potentially against FCSB, yeah, that could be a win at home. They might get a surprise one. Yeah, but it's so tough again, isn't it?
Yeah, it is tough. Yeah, we have to be realistic. Even the match against Panathinaikos, sorry, it's gonna be a tough match. Also, although they are gonna play home, but it's still a tough match. So collecting 10 points, I don't see that coming really. But I hope they make a miracle.
Just really exciting for the fans to be in this, and Dutch football fans in general will enjoy seeing Go Ahead play in Europe and play some of these games. And yeah, I mean, I'm an Aston Villa fan in case people didn't know. And 2 ties for Villa against Dutch teams is really exciting for me. I mean, I went to the one in the Netherlands when Villa last played there. I was at Alkmaar against Aston Villa. That's why the scarves in the background there. It was a really exciting game, and a shame we couldn't get one at home this time because they're always easy to get to, of course, being in the UK. Yeah. But yeah, we'll see. We never know if we can get a trip or not out to the Netherlands again. Yeah. We're so excited. Yes. Love to see it. Yeah, but Go Ahead anyway. Hopefully we'll keep some more of their players as the transfer window closes in the next few days. With these ties, surely the players are, licking their lips thinking, I get to play these games if I stay at the club. So yeah, that will help the team. That's Go Ahead Eagles then. So we can talk about the Conference League next with AZ Alkmaar being the Netherlands' only representation. But just bring up a few live comments, seeing as there are some people watching live. We know not many people will be. But if you are watching live or not watching live, could you give us a like on this YouTube video, please? Subscribe to Football-Oranje if you haven't already on YouTube. And drop us a comment down below if you're watching or not watching live about what you think about anything we talk about today. Just get involved. Talk to us. We love to hear from you. We love to hear if you're enjoying the EREDIVISIE shows that we've been putting out every week so far this season. If you want more of them, keep interacting, keep watching, and more will come for sure. Yes. Just a couple of live comments then. We had greetings from Almaty. We know that you, of course, watching from all the way over in Kazakhstan. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's in Kazakhstan. Yeah. Yeah. Where many big names are going to struggle traveling.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's going to be a good chance actually for the team to perform well. They can use that long distance jet lag maybe to play well.
I found my trip back from Poland too hard the other day coming back. Don't know if that was a hangover speaking as well, but
yeah,
that far enough. I had another live comment as well. Hi lads, greetings from Amsterdam. Do you plan on doing a bit of a transfer window recap at some point? Oh, that's a good one. We did do a little bit of transfer talk in our last Spotify EREDIVISIE show podcast, but we can talk a bit about the transfer window today, hopefully. I mean, we're talking about Ajax next, given it's from Amsterdam. Maybe you're an Ajax fan and you'll love hearing about that. But we have to now talk about RZ. Yep, go RZ, semi-finals at least. So how are we feeling, Abdul? I'll put the fixtures up on screen, but how far do you think RZ can go in this competition? I actually gave a little shout last season that I think they'll get to the final of the Conference League. That's a statement. If they meet Crystal Palace, say in like the last 16 or something, then maybe not. But what are you thinking about the fixtures that they've got, and how far can they go?
Luckily, they will face Crystal Palace in the group stage.
Yeah.
So I don't think we will face them until the final. Maybe if we reach the final or the semi-final, I'm not sure. The draw is pretty much easy for AZ. They should win really 5 matches out of the 6.
I hope so.
The only team that they will struggle against maybe is a Crystal Palace away, but the rest, Bratislava from Slovakia and Białystok from Poland, Drita from Kosovo, AEK Laranka from Greece, and Shelbourne from Greece, isn't it?
Oh, I'll have to check.
No,
People
I think
watching live going, how do you not know this?
Laranka is from Greece, if I'm not mistaken.
Cyprus, just check.
Okay, it's from Cyprus. Okay, then sorry. And Shelbourne is from Ireland, of course. I think that the draw is easy. Making 15 points will not be difficult. Being in top 8 or top 6, I'm not really sure about the Conference League system. It's going to be also possible. So, I think AZ has a good chance to go all the way to the semi-final or maybe even the final.
I really hope AZ can go far, not just for Dutch coefficient, but love seeing a Dutch team doing well in European competition. We have Feyenoord, of course, get to the Conference League final not too many years ago. That was exciting. An agonising defeat to Roma. But when you look about the competition as a whole, like which teams are in this that pose a genuine threat? A team might surprise out of nowhere. There are the likes of Shakhtar Donetsk and Sparta Praha, which are good quality teams, perhaps as good as an AZ Alkmaar. But above that, Fiorentina, Palace.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, who can realistically challenge AZ in a semi-final or final? Those teams are up there. AZ Alkmaar got quality. We've doubted their manager at times, but they have been winning games to start the season. They're not the perfect team, but they've got enough firepower. They're going to grow throughout the season with the young players that they have. Think Ozodura in goal, think Case Smith, think Wouters. The only thing is, if they get a defensive injury, they would be left a bit threadbare. Any of their back four, they might struggle without.
I'm not sure if Shakhtar will be a threat, really, because the team has been shaky the past few years.
Yeah, understandable reasons why, of course, being in Ukraine. Yes. But I just think you're looking at a team perhaps the same quality as an AZ Alkmaar, aren't you? At that level. But AZ can raise a level when they play those big teams.
Yes.
Looking at these fixtures here, though, the team from Pot 1 was probably the most comfortable fixture, Slovan Bratislava. Hope they can beat those at home. Team from Poland, you've got Shelbourne at home. Should be winning all three of those.
Yes.
Beating Drita away from home in Kosovo. I think AEK Larnaca could be a tricky one. Palace obviously is difficult, but getting 4 wins in a draw here, very possible.
It's possible.
And should see them through to in the top 8 again. But, it only takes 1 or 2 bad results, doesn't it? We've seen from AZ this season, and then we'll perhaps talk about the playoffs, but they should be okay in those too.
Even a win against the Crystal Palace is not impossible, I think, from AZ. They could get a good result. Yeah, a draw maybe. Yeah, so the team should be okay. And I think it's the only team that's pretty much guaranteed, on paper at least, that will make it to the next round.
Fingers crossed. Exciting times. We've got 2 more Dutch clubs to talk about. Just going to comment here about AZ before we move on. Physically dominating AZ. I think Palace probably will do that against AZ. Very difficult. Changing way of playing. We always see that with Dutch teams, don't we, in Europe, that they've certainly improved in recent years, but the physicality when playing away from home against British clubs in particular has been a problem. And I think AZ are one of those teams that are very pretty, play some good football, but can they go toe-to-toe physically with another team? We'll have to see. Yeah. Let's talk about PSV next, Abdul.
The group of death, really.
Their fixtures are awful, aren't they? So we've got 2 Champions League Dutch teams. We have a draw yesterday, and what came out of the hat? I mean, lots of champions of different countries. I'm just trying to find where they are now. Here we are, PSV.
Yes. PSV is going to face, they're going to face Bayern München, Liverpool, Atletico Madrid, Leverkusen, Napoli, Olympiacos, Union Saint-Gilloise, and Newcastle. And I don't think it will matter if the match is home or away, because they are all tough, regardless where they will play. The group is very tough. Napoli won the league. But Bayern München, of course, we know. Liverpool won the league. All teams are really tough. I don't see any easy match. But again...
they did well last season at Champions League, didn't they? They had some really good performances.
Yes, that's what I was saying. PSV has a very good team as well. They do have some good players, so they could have some good results against some teams. As we said, we need 10 or 11 points Can they collect 11 points? I see that possible against Olympiacos, San Gilloise, maybe also Atletico Madrid and Leverkusen. Not to mention, if the last match is going to be against Bayern München and Liverpool, and they are all guaranteed qualifying,
Yeah, like last
happened
season.
last season. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that also will get the team 3 or at least a point. So I do have hope that PSV can actually make it to the next round, but not in the top 8, of course. They will be in the top 24.
I mean, Leverkusen already look like they're going to have a struggle this season with Ten Hag in charge, losing lots of players. So that game away from home, you're kind of earmarking as one away that they could win. Olympiacos, like you said, another one they could win. They get a draw against one of the English sides. There's some more points. There's no, I'm going to say it though, there's absolutely no way PSV are making it through without a win at home against Union Saint-Gilloise. Win at home is an absolute must if they're going to make it through. Because they're going to have to surprise everybody and beat one of the other 3 teams at home for sure to try and get through. Yes. I don't see it myself. I think PSV will bow out at this stage, but I hope I'm surprised.
Well, Atletico Madrid, PSV had some good record with Atletico Madrid. They played them 4 times, I remember, in the past 10 years. They drew home and away.
Was it last 16?
It wasn't the last 16. They drew home and away, and they lost by penalty as usual for a Dutch team. Yeah. And then they played the next season, I think, also against Atletico Madrid. We lost 1-0 in Eindhoven, where we wasted a penalty in that match. I don't remember what the score in the second match was. I think it was 2-0 also for Atletico Madrid. So we are always performing well against them, but we don't win. Hopefully this time it's good for revenge and winning,
One more Dutch team to talk about, and that is Ajax. Here come their fixtures. Got the Ajax kit on today. I do like the new badge. I had to get it because of that. I really, really had to get it. Trying to find them some Eredivisie patches, by the way, to iron on. Iron one on the side, but so far I can only find one place that you can buy them in the UK. So if anyone knows any way of getting some, do let me know. Here are the Ajax fixtures. Wow. This is remarkably different from PSV's run. Not easy, but Ajax aside here, difficult season so far aside, look at these fixtures. A Dutch team facing potentially Benfica at home in the Champions League, Olympiacos at home, Galatasaray at home. AZ would beat Galatasaray. I think it was last season, wasn't it? Away. Chelsea being the Club World Cup champions and the Conference League champions, yes. But of all English sides you could have faced in that pot, it's more favourable. Villarreal, you can win there. Marseille. Karabag, of course, coming out is the most winnable game. Got to get at least 10 points in these. But then you remember the struggles Ajax had so far this season. Yes, they've won. Yes, they've got 7 points out of 9 so far. But, probably some quite easy fixtures. Go Ahead Eagles had the better of them at points in their game. If Ajax improve, this is a favourable draw. But if they continue on the trajectory so far this season of disappointment, without an extra player or two of good quality, I see Ajax getting knocked out.
If Ajax doesn't qualify, it's going to be because of Ajax, not because of the group. I'm only worried about Ajax as a team. So far, the team is not really performing as we expect. We still have 3 more days, I think, or 4 more days for the transfer market. I hope they get some more players to the team, strengthen the team a little bit. And the matches you mentioned, I think Ajax is capable of defeating at least 5 teams in this group. I don't see them having a chance against Chelsea, maybe. But even the match against Inter Milan, Ajax could get at least a point since they are playing home. And they have defeated Benfica before. They can do it again. Not, of course, with the same squad, but it's always possible to defeat Benfica home when you play them either by Ajax or by PSV. So let's hope they can qualify to the next round. But I doubt they will be in the top 8. I will be happy.
Top 8? Wow, that's ambitious.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. So, yeah.
I mean, they've had comments here saying that Ajax are weak, that they're worried about fixture against Utrecht and NEC Nijmegen, let alone the Champions League games. that's where Ajax are at the minute. They need to go through a bit of a transformation over the next month or two. They're going to win some of these games here. I think, though, in terms of transfers, Ajax could be a little busy. Brian Brobby still needs to be confirmed to leave the club, and that could free up some funds potentially. But there's talks of, Kaplan going on loan to NEC Nijmegen. Then they'll need him at centre-back. It's great that he's going to get games over at NEC, but they need another player coming in which case.
Yes.
Fitzsium as well. I've also seen rumoured to be going on loan to NEC, but need another player in. There's a player coming in on loan from Liverpool, James McConnell, but has very little senior experience. Coming in and playing for a Champions League side, Ajax, that's a weird move for me. They're lacking funds, but some odd transfers here.
Yes, they do need some players, and they are running out of time. We only have 4 days. A lot can happen in these 4 days. So let's hope they sign the good players and they ditch some players that did not really perform well last season. I'm really hoping for Brobbey to leave. I don't think he has a place in Ajax anymore, seriously.
Yeah, 100%. Brobbey needs to make a transfer and have a fresh start. Kenneth Taylor also hasn't left yet. Another surprise. Does he go in the last few days? I think anything's open here, that he could leave, he could stay.
Yeah,
I just wonder if Ajax have got transfers lined up to bring in. If not, I really expected a former Ajax player to return this summer. I thought Tadic would, and he's not. Christian Eriksen.
He's not. I don't think he's coming back.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm against. Yeah, I'm against this idea of bringing back.
Danny Blind was the one.
Yeah, Hakim Ziyech is not as good as he used to be. Blind is not as good for Ajax as I don't think he was ever good anyway, but I don't think he is as good for Ajax as before. I don't think, so it's better to find new players.
Yeah, I agree. In terms of the transfer market as well, like there's some moves happening elsewhere, but I think the main activity to be with Ajax. PSV are looking at bringing a couple of players. Myron Boadu has been brought in on like a 1-year contract with the extension of the year. What are your thoughts on that, Abdul? Could that be a good move for him? I mean, should it go well, of course, he's back in the national team picture, but he's going to be playing second fiddle, isn't he, to Pepe?
For what player, sorry?
Myron Boadu.
Oh, Boadu, yeah. Well, I was surprised to see PSV thinking about him. Yeah. I did not really follow him last season. I know he scored some goals, but I did not follow him since he left AZ, actually. So hopefully that's going to be a good start for him. We are desperately looking for a striker for Oranje. So this also could be a solution if he finds his way again with PSV. I think, I don't know if it's going to be a good move, but I hope he finds himself with this, with this move.
Let's have a look at some more live comments. We've got people talking about the next show. Some plugs to our podcast. So we have been doing some Eredivisie shows that are available on Spotify and other podcast platforms, are audio only. But this one's a live YouTube Eredivisie show talking about Dutch clubs. We will be doing a preview, also available on YouTube and podcast platforms, for the game against for Netherlands against Poland. That's on Monday. You can find that then in the usual places. We're doing a live show as well after the Poland game, and the one that's also on Sunday against Lithuania. So same guys in live comments. Again, if you're not watching this live, do leave us a comment down below on anything we talked about today. We're going to move on to the Netherlands next and talk about the squad that's been announced. What else have we got here? Oh yeah, Mahir Tardan, that's another transfer that's been going on. So Fortuna Sittard signed him. He talks about he feels Moroccan. I'm not going to talk about any of that national team stuff. He's nowhere near being a Netherlands player and hasn't really been for a long time. In which case, if we move out of side, it's actually quite a good move for him, staying in the Eredivisie. Maybe he'll add something for Fortuna Sittard attack. But other than that, don't think he's really worth talking about anymore, to be honest.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's talk about the national team squad then. I've got the national team squad and under-21s here, Jong Oranje. Let's start with the big boys. Let's start with Oranje. I'm pressing the wrong button again. But I'm showing you the squad, but there's not really many surprises because the main one really was that Sem Stein was announced, which we said earlier on this show isn't a surprise because he's played one game for Feyenoord now, so of course he can play for the Netherlands. Well, Robin Roofs is another one as well who's come in, 2 games for Sunderland, and now he's playing for the national team.
Yeah, the only surprise to me was actually Schouten. I did not expect Koeman to select Schouten.
I mean, he's back to being his best, I think. He's captain in PSV now. I'm glad to see him back. Would you see
Yeah,
someone else in his place?
but I was expecting Weaver to be instead.
Yeah, he's played a few games at right back for Brighton, and I don't think
Maybe
he's stood
that's
out
why
so
he
far
did
this
not pick
season.
him. Yeah, because he's been a right back now, not a
Mm.
midfielder anymore. So maybe that's why he chose Schouten over him. The thing is, we have so many good midfielders, and that's why you will always have to drop some good quality players, you know. So yeah, that will be the case, I guess, this time. Unfortunately, he did not really pick any new striker. We were hoping that he would pick, for example, Emega, who scored 2 goals yesterday for Strasbourg. Pirou, although he did not really show anything the first 2 games, but not the same players over and over. You know, I would understand Weghorst because he has been playing well for Ajax, scoring goals for Ajax. But Depay, he just came back from an injury, and he wasn't really that impressive against Spain lately. You know, so I was hoping for some new attacker, but I don't know about Koeman really.
I find it quite hard to be critical here. We haven't had Max Meerdink explode yet, nor Manuel Mega, but they are both scoring goals. So it's who you take a punt on, isn't it? You can only really kind of choose one of those. You're not going to see the likes of Zirkzee return, Brobby return for a long, long time unless something drastically changes in their careers. I personally would have liked to see Max Meerdink start a couple of games for the Netherlands and just give him a go and grow him into this player that we need.
Yes.
But there's not that risk being taken. But I can kind of see why. I mean, Memphis has been a staple of his Netherlands side. We talked about him so many times being a key player for this team. And I know he's had some bad games, but I don't want to see him go completely from the national team setup. And then you've got Wout Weghorst, who is scoring goals at the minute. So it's hard.
It is hard. Yesterday, Meerdink scored a goal and had an assist. So I was hoping this will, bring the attention of Koeman, but obviously did not. Let's not forget that, the World Cup will not start until next year, where Weghorst, I think, is going to be 34 or 35. Memphis is going to be 33. So I'm not sure if we're going to depend on them a year from now, but or maybe 6 months or 8 months from now, sorry. But I guess it's a striker. After all, it's not a defender or midfielder. So you can always have a mid-class striker and do well, I do remember the previous few games. We all players scored, midfielders, wingers. It doesn't have to be a striker. I still hope that Koeman would try false number 9, but I don't think he's up to that yet.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting move. Sam Stein has been called up as well, and playing with number 10, it just gives you something else extra in the box, isn't it? So like a Weghorst Stein combination might not be too bad.
Yes.
I've got to say that Netherlands haven't done too badly lately, like even with Memphis and Weghorst. But I think the difference we're saying is what's going to take them to the next level and beat a top side. But we're looking at the goals to score. Obviously, scored 8 against Malta, beating Finland. We scored 5 in 2 games against Spain, beating Hungary 4-0. But you could still suggest that we've got more room to grow. I don't think goal scoring has been a massive issue for the Netherlands.
Michael, I think we are in the next level now. I mean,
but Koeman hasn't beaten a side of that ilk for a long time.
Yeah, but for example, for some players, I mean, imagine if only a few months ago, or maybe less than a year ago, who still was in the squad. Now you will have to think of at least 10 midfielders before you start thinking about him, or you're thinking of him. So yeah, we do have improvements in all positions. I think we are in the next level now. We showed that against Spain home and away, and then the first 2 matches in the qualifiers. But of course, we need to be sure about that. Hopefully, the match against Poland and Lithuania will say it all.
Yeah, let's see. I think we've got enough anyway to beat both of those teams, I would hope.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Let's bring up the Jong Oranje squad. So did some shows about Jong Oranje, the under-19s, at the end of last season. And it was proving pretty popular, to be fair, on the YouTube channel for Football-Oranje. So I think it's worth talking about this squad as well whilst we're here and some of the names that we've got involved. Obviously, you've got some of the under-19s players that did really well being called up for the under-21s now. Kees Smits in there. Mats Rots is in there.
Van Bommel.
Yep. Wouters has been kind of re-put back into like the under-21 squad properly now. First time of asking.
Ezekiel, Dal, they are all, and Puko, of course, or Poku. We do have some names that some of them could actually be in the 2026 squad, you know.
Abuzo could be one of those as well.
Yeah, yes. So we will see how it's gonna go. The squad looks very good. Some of them play already for big clubs. Van Bommel has been very impressive with PSV lately. If not scoring, he's been making assists. And of course, Ezekiel, in my opinion, is the biggest talent this season. He's been really impressive. So we do have so many good names.
And Lamar Bergade playing for Aston Villa. He's not a first choice player, but he's a really, really, really good utility player to bring in. He hasn't had a bad game in a long time for Villa. He can play at centre-back, right-back, and in defensive midfield. He plays most of his games for Villa at centre-back, but I would suggest his long-term future as a Netherlands international wouldn't be at centre-back. We'd have to use him more as a right-back or a defensive midfielder. But really versatile, worth having around, and nice and tidy. I think Unai Emery's had a really big influence on him, given he's been his manager pretty much for his senior career so far.
Yes.
So he could be handy in the future.
Yes, he played very well last season with Aston Villa. I was expecting to see him a starter actually this season, but hopefully he will get his chance in the next matches.
He's mainly a backup to when Konsa's injured, but then Villa play with two left-footed centre-backs in the last game and didn't choose Bergade, so I don't know. I think he's like the fourth choice centre-back and a backup right-back for us. Anyway, that's the under-21 squad. We should wrap up, I think, because this is an Eredivisie show. We've talked about all of the fixtures that have happened so far in the league, the past 3 Eredivisie shows that you can find on podcast-only platforms, audio-only podcast platforms. But I want to ask you, Abdul, out of the 6 teams from the Eredivisie playing in Europe, which team do you think will go the furthest in Europe? I think there's one obvious answer here, so I'm actually going to ask you for the 2 teams that you think will go furthest.
I would say AZ definitely. The team is good enough, and the draw is easy. The competition is not that tough. The second, I would say, surprisingly, I would say PSV.
Wow, that's a shout.
Yeah.
I'm going to say AZ and Utrecht.
It's a good choice. I'm expecting something from Utrecht as well. What I like about this team is that they fear no one. They play attack. They play their game regardless what the opponent is, and this is very good actually.
They're really solid. They are quite good defensively. Lots of experience there, and now more than ever, they've got more of an attacking threat to win games quite comfortably. In games they were struggling in last season.
Well, I hope Ajax surprises us and they become the 3rd team who actually qualify to the next round. The group is easy. They just need to reshape the team and get some new names.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the difficulty fixture like we discussed already. Ajax have got the most favourable set as well as AZ. AZ in that competition should be getting the furthest. They should be getting to at least the quarterfinal. And then you just depend on who you meet, I think, isn't it, before the final. Ajax could go far. Can they go past the playoff stage and reach the last 16? That's basically the question, isn't it? Who can reach the last 16? AZ you would expect so. I think Utrecht, being as passionate as they are and excited to play in Europe, they've got a good chance of that. Feyenoord could, but it depends what their squad are at, at that moment in time. Can they be as effective in De Kuip as they always have been in Europe with that brilliant atmosphere? PSV could surprise us. They are like the best Dutch team we have at the moment, but those fixtures are tough. And getting to the playoffs, they may then have a chance of making it through. It's the playoffs, isn't it? You just don't know who you're going to meet and the quality of opposition you'll face at that point.
They all could make a surprise, but Go Ahead Eagles need a miracle, not a surprise, actually.
I think they'll be the worst team off, but that doesn't matter for Go Ahead, does it?
And no, I don't think it will matter. I think if they make one win only, the fans will be happy, It's a small team. Of course, I'm not saying that to diss the team in any way. It's a Dutch team, and I have big respect for it. But it's a small team. The stadium is kind of small. So the fans will be really happy to face teams like Aston Villa or any other teams, visiting them. So they will be enjoying that. I do think they will get some points, but not to the point they will qualify, as we mentioned earlier.
Well, here's to an excellent season Dutch football then. Feels like it's really begun now, doesn't it, with all of the fixtures being announced and the Netherlands games coming up. So really exciting. So rub your hands together if you're a Dutch football fan. Really exciting times. Lots of podcasts come in and content on the Football on our website and our Twitter X stream as well. If you have enjoyed all of these kinds of shows lately and you want to support Football-Oranje, we have got Football-Oranje scarves available if you want to keep Football-Oranje podcast being a free podcast in the years ahead. You can see there's a couple. If I just go, there they are, look in the background to get yourself a flashy Football-Oranje podcast scarf. Abdul's got his behind him. There it is. Yep. It's mine here. Really nice quality scarf. If you want to get yourself one, we've used providers, like I said before, that have made scarves for English, Belgian, and Dutch clubs, professional clubs. It's really nice scarf. You can find the link for that in the YouTube description.
And they're good quality as well. I love it.
We're reaching the end of August, so for everyone in the Northern Hemisphere, you're going to need a scarf pretty soon. It might get cold.
Yeah.
We ship anywhere in the world anyway, so if you want to get yourself one, just order one. I'll get it to you. That's it from us then for now. So we've done 46 minutes. If you enjoyed this, give us a like, subscribe to Football-Oranje if you're new, and drop us a comment if you weren't watching live. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you again on Monday for a preview of Netherlands v Poland. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.